this last traditional food is a tradition that we always had in my house growing up, and it's called Kreplach. Have you heard of Kreplach? Kreplach are like Jewish dumplings that are eaten on specific days of the year. And they're always eaten on days that have something to do with concealment. So we eat them on Purim, because in the Purim story, Queen Esther was concealed, God was concealed. We eat them on Purim. We also eat them on the Erev Yom Kippur, before Yom Kippur, because we want anything harsh to be concealed, any like harsh judgments for the coming year to be concealed and overcovered with goodness. And then there's another time at the end of Sukkot that we eat it for a similar idea as well. So when I was young, and if your bubby came from Russia, the way they made kreplach was they made this dough that is in your cookbook, because I wanted to stay true to authenticity, but I never do that anymore, because you have to make a dough and put a wet towel on it and roll it out and make the kreplach. And it is so much work when Mr. Wonton invented something called wonton wrappers. So what I do, and again, so easy, is I take a wonton wrapper instead of making all that dough. And what goes inside a kreplach, and how do we make kreplach? Okay, kreplach is something, you had some tonight. They typically have a filling that is either beef or chicken, or people make vegetarian. And I did put a recipe of a filling, but because this is easy night, I have to tell you how I make my kreplach. Whatever I'm having for dinner the night before kreplach night, I make extra. So like in this case, we had some brisket 2 nights ago. I'm like, I have a ladies' night. We're going to be making that. So I put in some more. And when I made the chicken soup for tonight, I just took the chicken out of the soup, shredded it, and I used that. So you always want to like spice it up a little bit, like saute onions, add some seasoning, mushrooms. One common one is they put sweet potato in as kind of a binder. The point is, make whatever you like. Make whatever you have in the house. Don't go looking up a recipe and buying and specially cooking just for the kreplach. Make dinner and then use the extras for this. So if it's, you can bake a chicken, you can cook a chicken, you can do whatever you want, then fry some onions, add seasoning, and then you have your filling. So Flora, do you want to grab the fillings? Then what do we do with the kreplach? So there's 2 ways to do kreplach. Some people make them by boiling them in water. Some people make them by frying them. I'm the frying people because I don't think wonton wrappers would boil very well. And my kids love when they're crispy. So what we do with kreplach is we make the kreplach, we fill them, we fry them, and then we put them in our soup when we eat the chicken soup at that meal. So you also, like some of my kids, they eat it plain, they just like the Crispies, and there's the kids that take the filling out and only eat the Crispies. Whatever makes you happy, you did kreplach. So that's the tradition, it's called kreplach, and we're gonna make it, like I said, super easy way. We're passing out beef and chicken. Both of them have been sauteed with onions and various spices, whatever I was doing, and you can have fun making them without any effort. This is something you literally can make at home for this Purim without having to work very hard. Flora, I think the wonton wrappers are on there as well. So it's going to be a similar idea, but even easier than the hamantashen because they're already cut in a square. Do you know how to turn a square into a triangle? Any of my geometry friends?
Yes,
you fold it in half. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some filling, you're going to put it in the middle, like by the seam, and then you're just going to fold it in half. And I'll put out some water. If you like wet the edges a little bit, you can seal it a little bit better. But if you had mine, you saw they don't all seal. When they fry, they open, but nobody complains because they're just delicious anyway. So that's our kreplach, and you can literally put in there anything you like. So we'll make the kreplach now, and then I actually have some frying pans set up. If anybody wants to actually fry them right now, you can. Otherwise, if you rather go, you can just cover them with maybe like a damp napkin. You don't want them to dry out. But you can welcome to, like everyone's going to make maybe 2, so you're welcome just fry them right here and eat them.
Hakurim, Hakurim, Hagadol Yehudim, Masechot, Rashanim, Zmirot, Rikudim. Hakurim, Hakurim, Hagadol Yehudim, Masechot,